Hello and good evening. Star Trek Lower Decks, Season 5, Episode 6 of Gods and Angles is over. But we're just getting started here on Live Long and Podcast here on Thursday, November 21st, 2024. Here to break down this episode for you and talk all about it. I'm Dave Mader, a live stream here on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch, or you might be listening to this on audio version. And we got a great panel to talk all about this episode, including the middle guy himself, the Davulon. It's Davan Skelhorn.
Yeah, just chilling like a villain.
Chilling like a villain. He's wearing the black hood today. As we posted a review last night of Otoy unification, and wow, a lot of people.
I think I'm being cyberbullied.
Maybe, yeah. Like it's plausible. I think so too. A couple people called us all three of us mouth breathers, which I found fun.
I refuse to ever breathe out of my mouth, even if it will save my life.
I'm only using one nostril from now on, just to make sure.
Just for spite.
The old lefty.
Only old lefty. You can't accuse me of mouth breathing. And coming in next, it's the Dino Man himself, Lieutenant Justin Velociraptor.
Hey, everybody. I am most definitely a mouth breather. That's why I have a CPAP machine.
Sure. Well, hey, like, no judgment here. The mouth breathers are all welcome, and the nose breathers. Make sure if you have a comment about the episode, throw it in the live stream. As long as you have
facial hair. If you don't, get the hell out of here.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, this is a collection of beards and facial hair for sure. No mysterious threats and anomalies. You're being called the Jedi Davan here. By
it's just Norman. Darth Davan today. You betcha.
Yeah. Well,
hard to see the dark side is.
Yeah, of course. But we're here to break down another episode of Lower Decks. We're only 4 left, until this show is complete, or did we just get introduced to the newest recruit of Lower Decks, the next generation? There's a new theory for you. Potentially.
Or Lower Decks Starbase 80.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen for you, Justin.
They'll make a show with a less expensive voice cast, perhaps.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, well, here
Jack Quaid probably makes good money now.
I'm sure he does. Well, he already came from the prestigious Quaid family / Ryan family. So
Quaid Ryans.
Yeah, the Quaid Ryans. He not exactly. He wasn't necessarily born into poverty or anything like that.
No.
Yeah. Although I'm of course a fan of Mr. Boimler. He doesn't like things too spicy.
I have the computer omit the spice.
Of course. Let's break this episode down. Everything that happened here. I know a bunch from radio theater. That's right. Lower Decks, Season 5, Episode 6 of Gods and Angles. We come into a nebula here to start off this episode.
Good old nebulae.
Good old nebulae. And we find out from the captain's log voiceover that there are these photonic entities. One are cube and the other are sphere. And they both originated in nebulae, I believe, Davan, and that they are, at odds with each other. They're kind of a long-standing war between these two factions, but they're working on a peace deal.
It's like this, you two-dimensional fuck. He's like, I'm 3-dimensional.
This is the kind of thing you could only see in Lower Decks, like an animated. Like just the fact that it's animated makes it so much more practical. I guess Prodigy might do this, but they wouldn't make it as funny.
No.
But
I feel like this might have been an idea from a Roddenberry script that someone found on a shelf somewhere.
Circles and cubes.
Circles and cubes. Like I don't know. I thought it was imaginative, at least a little bit. You know,
I thought
something
it was
different.
fun. I liked it.
Yeah, me too.
A fellow
I feel
visor
like they have
wearer.
the tennis ball lines that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. So like, yeah, we're just seeing them sort of around the ship with their different shapes here. Of course,
That
Kayshawn
one's
having
quite dim. Embarrassing.
yeah, it's like being naked apparently. Kayshawn breaking up a fight here at one point in security, and then we also part of this teaser we see Ransom in the cargo bay or shuttle bay. We meet this ensign here, who I think maybe we've seen around. I think in some of the previous episodes. I'm not
Really?
I don't know. I guess we would have noticed that.
Yeah, I don't think we have. It's the Laurel.
The Laurel. Thank you. We meet Ensign Polly here, and not by name yet, but that she's stacking a whole bunch of things here in the cargo bay onto like this anti-grav unit, and it's not looking too safe or regulation. But Polly insists to Commander Ransom, it's fine, don't worry about it. And just then,
she was an engineer.
She was an engineer. What's in that stack? You got a globe. You got one of Worf's chairs. A whole bunch of different things like included in this little stack. It all comes crashing down onto Ransom and to Polly, and they got a Daba wheel.
Double wheel, yay!
Yeah. And that is our teaser for the episode. So not a ton. There's there's some photonic entities here, and there's this ensign with the Laurel. So I don't know, not a ton other than that to kind of set us off here. We get into the episode itself. We see Mariner with her mom, Captain Freeman, going along, and we see Commander Ransom shows up to complain about Ensign Polly. I'm done. I think she's hiding my weights. Coming off of like getting that thing, and I can't do anything without my bells.
I can't make gains without my bells.
That's right. You tell him. Always love Ransom.
Ransom's
Anyway,
got
so
some good one-liners in this.
he does. Mariner is intrigued by an ensign, a lower decker that's even more insubordinate than her, has a worse reputation than her, and so she's naturally fascinated with her and is drawn to learn more about her. And I could help her work things out here. We find out in this dialogue between Captain Freeman and Mariner that Ensign Ollie. Is it Ollie? Ollie.
Ollie.
Ollie is a demigod, or like at least 1/4 Greek god, as in the species of aliens we met in Who Mourns for Adonais, the original series episode with Apollo. Didn't they all go into the wind or whatever? Well, some of them did, but a few of them like to, get down and have coitus with mortals and whatever. And even when I looked up Apollo today on Memory Alpha, I found out that, well, technically Apollo was half human, like according to the Greek myth at least. So most of those aliens, or at least a certain generation of those Greek gods, were not fully of alien origin. Anyway, so eventually I think it's Ransom who kind of backs up this idea for Mariner to sort of show her the ropes and see if she can make it work out for her. We also find out that Ollie was on a ship of all former Maquis who were pretty hard. I had to pull that line.
Damn, and that whole crew's reformed Maquis. They're nasty.
The whole crew of reformed Maquis. We know that Ro Laren eventually got out of prison and back into Starfleet. I wonder if she's there.
B'Elanna, Chakotay.
Yeah, they're back now. But we know, but Chakotay's busy with on Prodigy and the Protostar at this point, so he's not there. Actually,
Not Lon Suitor, that's for sure.
Not Lon Suitor, but yeah, actually at this point, this is the same year that Star Trek Prodigy sort of ends, or like the most recent season of Prodigy, and Chakotay's in command of the Voyager A, as we saw at the end of that series. Spoilers. I like how Captain Freeman says, Yeah, like, you think you're not insubordinate, but you just grab this pad for me that you're not even cleared to look at. You went beyond your clearance level. And she's like, whoopsie, maybe I'm not as reformed as I'd like to think I am. Anyway. So Captain Ransom, Commander Ransom backs up this plan. Captain Freeman says, don't mess it up, or, you'll be dealing with the consequences of all this. Just then we see Ensign Ollie, speak of the devil. She has once again tipped over the entire anti-grav unit full of stuff and is causing a muck here on the decks of the ship. So Mariner,
she's a keeper. I love Ensign Ollie.
Yeah, Ensign Ollie feels like more like a real person than anybody. A lot of other characters at least. The other plot line in this storyline focuses on Boimler. And Boimler, of course, reading his secret pad from the alternate dimension about the other Boimler, Flip, as he's known over there with Dr. Tiana. He's still trying to learn more about this. Just that he's
Flip Boimler. It just sounds hilarious.
Oh yeah, Flip. Gets walked in here by Rutherford, his roommate, who he hits his head on the top of the bunk here in the process, trying to hide the pad. Which Rutherford says, "Oh, I know you have that pad from the alternate dimension because he wants to borrow his proper one." And he's like, "How did you know?" He's like, "Yeah, it's beveled completely differently, and it's red." Oh yeah, we get that gag twice with him and Tendi in this episode. But they're noticing the most minute detail of the pad.
3.57 millimeters, I believe.
Yeah,
increase on the bevel.
Yeah. Something I maybe Rutherford, I think, with his implant could pick up on. Tendi, I was like, oh, that's pretty good on Tendi. But
she's the mistress of the winter constellations.
She knows her pad bevels. If anybody does, she is training to be a science officer. And so, there's a lot of I guess the conversation here about where Boimler admits that in the alternate universe that the other Boimler, known as Flip, as he's nicknamed by Dr. Tiana, that's how he got to be an acting captain a few times, by getting in good with the bridge officers in that universe. And he's trying to kind of follow that same roadmap here to success in his mind. But Rutherford said, "Come on, man, you just be yourself. Don't worry about trying to be another version of Boimler." Though he does admit that this version of Boimler might be cooler or more successful.
Bradford, you'll never be Flip Boimler. Just move on.
You'll be what's his nickname by the end of the episode? Fucko? I think that's his the new moniker he's been given by Dr. Tiana. Hey, I got a nickname.
What
Fucko.
does he call her? Did you put that together?
No, I did not. I was not so good with the lip reading here.
Once we're off air and the algorithm doesn't matter, we can speculate.
Exactly. So Boimler goes off to try to, win over Tiana. We come back to the other plot line here with Mariner and Ollie, who is, we're back down in the lower decks bunks here. It's been about 2 seasons since we've really been down here. And Mariner, of course, waiting for Ollie to show up down here. Half an hour late for their meeting. She gets interrupted here by T'Lyn, who we haven't seen. Finally, she's back. And, I don't know what T'Lyn noted here, other than Ollie's a bit of a problem child. Ollie does show up late, of course. Mariner's like, "What the hell?" And she's like, "Well, what was Ollie's excuse here for being late?" We find out later it's because she actually hit the computer console from the room with we'll come back, but she makes up a reason here that she's late that it turns out to be false.
Oh, because she was fixing the portable tractor beam.
The portable tractor beam, which I guess she already had fixed, and she just pulled this out of her bag of tricks, moving this laundry hamper, I guess. And, they're kind of impressed. But then it malfunctions all of a sudden and breaks, and then sends this laundry hamper bouncing around the hallway and everywhere else. I was in engineering, but I wasn't safe, or I caused too many electrical problems.
I was unsafe for my coworkers.
Yeah, with air quotes. And she's like, "Come on, Starfleet likes to, be a bunch of jerks." Mariner says, and she's like, "Are you sure you're Starfleet?" Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes I'm pretty Starfleet. So Mariner and Ollie walking down. I think she's asking her about her Laurel and her powers. She says she has no powers. She's just her grandfather was Zeus, or the god or the alien who called himself Zeus, and that's where she can't even take it off. It's just permanently there, I guess, which I think is an interesting genetic trait.
It's pretty hilarious.
Can't even be cut off or anything. Anyways, they show up at the room. They're checking in on one of these photonic entities, I believe one of the cubes, and they're not answering right away. They come into the quarters and to find the room completely disheveled. Looking
Tubulon, wasn't it?
Yeah, was it a murder scene? I don't know. We're not quite sure yet. It's looking quite ominous. We see some photonic residue on the wall. We'll find out what this is later in the episode, but it's not blood.
I think I stayed in this place at Niagara Falls one time.
Yeah, when you brought in your black light.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah, as Shax's here, investigating it all. As they're scanning the room, saying something bad happened here, and it did, but not what you think. They come around here. They say, well, they were using this room for the computer monitor, but the computer monitor is missing. I think Mariner's the one who makes that observation. Yeah, Shax, the super detective sleuth, he's on the case. Well, you're right about that. So I think they send Mariner and Ollie to kind of track down maybe what's happened here and not to accuse anybody of murder or anything that's going to cause a conflict between the two delegations here on the Cerritos. And gets quite the warning here. Ollie, everyone's skeptical of Ollie, including Kayshawn and Mariner and Shax here. Coming back over to sickbay. We see here Tendi working with Tiana on cataloging different blood samples. If only they had a Ferengi blood sample, then they would have the full rainbow. Tiana, grumpy and crusty, as Rutherford would call her. Most of these have viruses in them that have no cures or things of that nature. Boimler shows up and she's like...
And she just says, for some reason, she just has all these hypo sprays of untested...
anesthetics.
Anesthetics. So why do you have this tray of untested anesthetics? So hilarious.
Yeah, I like how Tiana's like, yeah, paper cuts are not a life-threatening injury, Boimler, or whatever. She said, oh no, I came here to bring you a book because in the other universe, the other Boimler, I guess, got in with Tiana because he was Flip and they were in the book club together. That was kind of like the nature of it all. So over the next couple minutes, Boimler will say Flip. I lost track of how many times, but it's a lot. And,
trying to incept it into Dr. Thomas.
Yeah, basically. This is like Inception. As Rutherford and Tendi just kind of look on, kind of nervously.
Their facial expressions throughout this is just amazing.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think Tiana's like, if you say Flip one more time, I'm gonna flip and show you a new one. So Boimler does back off here. He's like, well, here, let me show you a backflip. And he ends up, getting this cart full of hypos with untested anesthetics and who knows what else.
Did he actually think he could do a backflip?
He said that he had been testing this move out in the holodeck with lower gravity and or something like that. I don't know. Just something that only...
There they come.
Here they come down on him, and he sprays him in the face. Yeah, you dumbass!
I bring you love. I bring you peace.
I think Tiana is like the grumpiest doctor, and that's saying a lot considering we have McCoy, like the EMH, and Pulaski. And so...
She's a doctor that'll claw the shit out of you.
Oh yeah,
imagine that. You wouldn't want to fight like a house cat. Like this is a house cat the size of a human. They would maul you to death if they wanted to.
It's more like it's almost like a lynx or something. It's like a giant cat. Anyway, so we go back to the Ollie and Mariner plot line, who go to the gym here, like where the The photonics are working out. They got to work on, their dumbbells too. Well, what is it that you say there, Ransom?
I can't make gains without my bells.
And they know that too. They come in on this guy who I guess was naked.
Whoa!
You had to throw a towel on. Sorry, I didn't mean to be obscene here.
Respect the glow. Come on.
Respect the glow. They're looking around the room. They're scanning for this computer console that they're looking for. We'll find out later that Ollie is the one who took it and hit it. But so there's kind of a little bit of a misdirect here where Ollie kind of gets Mariner off the scent, if you will.
This whole thing reminded me of the search for the boots in Undiscovered Country.
Right, the Dax boots, the other Dax, and all that. So they find this pad, and they end up like playing good cop, bad cop with this photonic entity, the sphere. Is they're now suspecting him of having something to do with this disappearance.
Look at Mariner though. She was expecting to be the bad cop. She's just like, "What is happening?"
I'm the good cop. And
look at Ollie though. She's so mad.
In the
so
back,
mad.
seething.
Yeah, just like what?
What's
so
happening
funny.
here? They throw a couple like dilithium crystals. They pull like the dilithium crystals right out of the tricorder. I guess that's the power source for the tricorder.
They're power cells. Yeah. That's
Power
what
cells.
Rutherford was trying to take from Boimler's main pad.
Oh, okay. They're powers, but they just like I thought they were dilithium crystals.
I thought they
or
were
something.
dilithium too. Yeah.
Yeah. Which apparently is like food to the photonic entities. They suck up all that energy, and not naked.
Normally, when we see power cells, I think they're blue.
Yeah, I guess. Like I don't know how many examples we've seen of that, but every time they think that they're onto something here, like Ollie goes crazy and goes like too intense in this situation. Mariner has to keep pulling her off and telling her to chill out and everything else. Even pulls. This goes on for a few.
It's like would you just leave this like sphere alone?
Load this tennis ball. Come on. Even pulls her into the hallway here, corridor to talk her some sense into her. But then the sphere just takes off and just runs away. So they have to run after it. I think this guy's looks or the woman's looks just like, ugh, what's going on this ship?
Mariner again.
Mariner again, and now Ollie. Boimler back in sickbay, looking not so well after that incident with the hypos. We get the whole Tiana's like, yeah, you have this alternate dimension, pad, with the different bevel. Yeah, but it's red. Oh yeah. And then there's a whole samesies, twinsies cute moment here with Tendi and Rutherford, which I enjoyed. That they're always in sync here. And so I think Boimler is going to double down on his plan. He's like, I need to get really in there and be more in with Tiana. So I need to insult her and be more use more swear words and crude language. That's what she'll respect. So Rutherford and Teddy
again.
Yeah, Rutherford and Teddy, they don't have to do much other than just react a lot of this stuff. And Boiler is like, it's all bleeped out. We're not quite sure.
I think I know what he calls her. I think I know.
A pussy?
Because I think he calls her pussy lips. and that's why he's like, because you're a cat. Like,
wow.
That's why she I'm pretty sure that's what he says.
It had to be something on that level because the way that everybody in the whole sickbay reacts.
You can sort of hear it though because it is beeped out. Like he says it, and then it's just beeped over top of that.
I didn't know if he actually said it.
And you can hear.
I didn't pull it because it was all beep. So, but
I'm pretty sure there's like a psst at the end. So I'm pretty sure it's pussy lips. But anyway.
Yeah. So Tiana goes nuclear on him.
What was he thinking? Oh my god. This is amazing.
Yeah.
She destroys him. She does not let him get away.
Yeah, she goes down. She's going all around him, just rah, 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 clawing at him, biting him, punching him. No one tries to stop her. That's my favorite part. It's like she even throws an elbow from the top of a
savage elbow.
The Randy Savage elbow. right, coming on down.
She's trying to
snaps
kill him.
into a surgeon.
Yeah.
His face. He's like, "Oh God, help me!"
It's the most anime face I've seen on this show.
Yeah, that's terrifying. That's a horror right there. Okay, so back to the Ollie and Mariner of it all as they're chasing the sphere down the corridor. I don't know if we've seen that guy before with that.
No, I like our little chic friend here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, Seek. And they get up to the boardroom where the spheres and the cubes are not getting along. Captain Freeman trying to, put this at ease. We're finding out that, the sphere kind of reveals to their delegation that they're accusing me of maybe having something to do with this. And Captain Freeman is trying to kind of calm things down, cool things off. And I think it's Ollie who starts like making some remarks here that does not help matters, saying that you're a bunch of murderers and, somebody's missing. Even Mariner's like, come on, like, what are you doing? I thought I could trust in you. And these two groups eventually start blasting each other with photonic energy, and this erupts into chaos all over the ship. Over the next few minutes, we just, see this moving around to the different sections of the ship as we have this, exterior shot. People, I guess this was harmful to people, right? You could get hurt by this stuff. It wasn't just harmful to photonics. It's melting right through the wall itself. So I guess there's your answer, engineering. I guess they were doing this right near the warp core. Doesn't seem safe, but I guess
There's Mariner's best friend.
Oh yeah. What's his name? Bellic?
Vivek or Jarek or something.
Jessup or Jessic or something like that. I always forget his name. But I always know who he is when I see him. So this is getting bad on the ship. Mariner says, we're going to find that computer console once and for all. And, she's like, but there's a huge fight going on in the hall. That Herbie and Ollie. But Mariner kind of pieces this together that you were the one who took the computer and you hit it. And she's like, what? What are you saying?
Get out of town.
Get out of town. You were the one who melted.
Don't be ridiculous.
That's right, because Ollie had referred to the pad as melted earlier, and she would only have known that if it was melted. Did she do that with her tractor beam emitter or something like that? I can't remember exactly how she did it, but she was afraid that if she told the truth that she was going to get in trouble, which she does anyway. So, they say, okay, well, we need to move on here and figure it out. And then she reveals that she does have powers that from her heritage, that she has like these little electrical sort of powers. Nothing too impressive, but she has the ability to sort of manipulate energy, at least on some level. But they're kind of these flaccid thunderbolts. They're not. Bolts, yeah, they need some Viagra. These thunderbolts, Justin.
Some noodle bolts there.
Some noodle bolts. Yeah, some zoodles. So Mariner, I think, has an idea. It's like, well, maybe we can work with this and figure something out on how to use your powers. Get ready, Ollie. So as this war between the photonics is raging across in the shuttle bay. They're trying to kind of figure out what to do. There's a lot of insults and trash talk going both ways throughout all of this. You see here, Barnes almost gets her hair burned off in the crossfire of all this. And eventually, I think Boimler shows up to try to help, again, using this as an opportunity to try to win over Tiana. She's trying to treat people with medical. So Mariner's like, I believe in you, Ollie. You can use your powers. You can absorb all that energy from the photonics, and then they can't hurt anybody, right? So she gives her a nice little pep talk here, and she's like, okay, here it goes. And she, I guess,
Laurels light up.
Her laurels light up, and she gets attacked by both sides. And she's getting all this energy, and at first it seems like this plan is kind of working. It's Mariner's all excited for it. It's all right, but as it's going on, she kind of realizes I'm taking on too much energy. I don't know how to control all this, and it kind of backfires. She kind of blasts it out, and a whole bunch of these lightning bolts flaccid and not come out. This one not so flaccid that hits Boimler right in the keister. This will allow Tiana to have to do a very specific thing, but it was a 1 in a million shot, Doc. A 1 in a million shot. So this doesn't work. This only sends the photonics out of the shuttle bay here. They're even more upset at this point, and they start going out of the ship, eventually to form these mega structures. Just give a shot there of them coming out. There's a lot of these things on board. And
bigger cubes and bigger spheres.
Bigger spheres and bigger cubes. I also loved a lot of the
creative at all.
A lot of the insults going between the two groups. You're so weird and not angular. Yeah. We see that there's a pretty big entities there when they're compared to the Cerritos, which is not a small
like a planet in a Borg cube.
Yeah, a small moon at least. As they're blasting each other with, of course, the Cerritos in the crossfire, literally. And the ship is losing shield power rapidly. They are. This is not a great situation. And here's Tiana trying to figure out what to do with the lightning bolt up Boimler's butt. But they bring them in this bay. But so Ollie and Mariner go up to the bridge to try to help here, because I think Ollie says she has an idea. Of course, Captain Freeman, not happy with either of them, tries to order them both off of the bridge, as she tried to give them a chance, and it did not work out so far. But Ollie, as a former engineer, before they put her into red, she has like this idea about how to channel the energy of the photonics into the shield power to actually strengthen the shields and drain the photonics of their thing. Shax's trying to carry them away, and Billups is like, "Yeah, actually, I think that's a good idea. I kind of like that idea." And he's like, "Yeah, this is good."
Oh no, Freeman's like, "Will it work?" He's like, "It has to.
It has to,
or else we're dead."
Yeah, is that what he meant?
He's so happy about it too.
Yeah,
I think so. Like, it has
this is our
to.
only hope. It has to. And he's impressed with Ollie's suggestion here. Says, "Good job." Eventually, she gets the console herself and starts doing those configurations, and they are able to pull off this plan where they drain the entities of their energy enough that they are no longer able to continue with this attack.
Now they're naked.
Now they're very naked.
Big and naked.
Big and
I like how the art effect on the sphere is very original series.
Yeah. Very much so. Yeah. It was an interesting design choice for sure. The tennis balls come back along with these little tesseracts, and they come back into the cargo bay. Now, unable to do any kind of, they're not able to be hostile with each other, right? So they're just kind of continuing to trade insults both ways. As hostilities are not died down. The lead cube then starts arguing with the lead sphere, that you took my son and you took my daughter. And then I think it was, once I heard it was a son and a daughter, I think it was in the earlier argument in the conference room, I was like, oh, well, this is like a Romeo and Juliet story that they're going to set up here. This is like the outrageous Akona or any, that kind of a story.
That's exactly what I wrote in my notes. I was like, oh, it's an Akona.
It's an Akona, yeah, but in a different retelling. As these two children kind of show up and say, "Yeah, we're in love, and we found each other." I think it's also revealed that they've been having a lot of sex. That residue found was from the sex between the cube and the sphere.
Leaving the mess is part of our kink.
Angle lover.
Angle lover. Everyone's like, ugh, so too much information as they are going on here. Eventually, it's revealed not only have they have a romance, but they've already had a child, which I thought was it's angular on one end of it and spherical on the other end, and it's green.
Squarelon or something.
Yeah, I don't know if this
Squarin.
Squarin. Yeah, that's it. Squarin.
Yeah. It was like,
Squarin is perfect.
Now there can be a peace between the two factions. Of course, they're happy to be grandparents now, these elders, and there's kind of just a nice little ending here until I think Squarin takes a big poop in the middle. I've only been a parent for a few minutes. I don't know what to do with all this pressure. Interesting. They take poops. Back in sick bay, we got Tiana.
Hybrids do anyway.
Yeah, and the medical team, they are doing some serious surgery here, pulling this lightning bolt, which I guess
piece at a time, like
broke off. It broke off in his butt or something here, So they're having to pull it off. Tiana, very focused. I love the goggles. I'm not sure what they're for, but
This is what Boimler's going to become known for, because she even said she's going to write a paper on it. This is like the most famous Boimler will ever become. Will be in like this medical journal of the.
Nice touch.
Boimler, where have I heard that from? Oh, you had that lightning bolt in your ass.
Yeah, you're the lightning bolt butt guy. I love how Tendy's just like getting the sweat off of Tiana's brow. Although I don't think cats don't sweat, right?
And the fur would absorb it anyway.
Yeah, cats sweat. Dogs don't sweat.
Cats. Oh, okay, that's it. And then pulling all this out. Yeah, we can see the removal here from Boimler's. I guess he wasn't sedated for all of this procedure, or at least not completely. As they pull the rest of this out, that was deep, and it's quite a little
She's
bit.
so happy with herself.
Yeah, look at me! What a surgeon I am. Boimler is recovering from the procedure, and this is what makes Tiana not hate him as much anymore, where she's like, oh, this was a great procedure for me. Good job.
She also had to dermal regenerate all the damage she did to him personally.
Yeah, well, I think this is maybe to like square things away there. He will report her for violence and assault.
Like attempted homicide.
Yeah, and she gives him, as we mentioned, his new nickname, Fucko.
Fucko and Pussy Lips. They're gonna be a good team.
What a team! Yeah. And so
Boimler looks like he was from Portland in this, with that thing on his head.
Portland, Oregon,
Yeah.
or Portland, Maine.
Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon. Anyway, so good job, Boimler. They being Rutherford and Tendy, congratulating him on his now being accepted by Dr. Tiana, who's now been invited to the book club, by the way, too. So he's been able to come in on all this, and now Rutherford embraces Boimler's philosophy of like, yeah, try to be like your best self and try to be like the alternate version of yourself. It's way cooler and it works. And Tendy's like, no, you just got to be yourself and don't try to live up to some other version of you or anything like that. No way. As Rutherford and Boimler very content with this new, maybe not so correct lesson that they found here. Only Tendy kind of protesting. We go up to the captain's ready room with Ollie and Mariner, who, we get revealed. Also, Billups and Ransom are present, and we find out that Ollie's going to be offered a position in engineering under Billups for her great work. Coming up with that solution on how to take down the photonics and coming to join Billups' team. And, going to work with Rutherford down there seems like a good fit. Good little ending here that she's not going to get like shipped off the ship and shipped out of Starfleet. But then it's like, but you also lied, and you're going to the brig now. Yeah, well, you lied and you covered up some stuff and hid evidence and all kinds of things. So she's like, no, we can work this out. Right, guys? No. She goes right into the brig. And she's very upset here with Mariner, very much a spiritual successor to how Mariner was, especially in the first season. Some actual growth here, Davan, for Mariner.
I can't tell if they're going to be friends, frenemies, or enemies yet, these two. It could go any way. It could break any way.
Yeah. Well, like, who do you think Ollie would be? Like, do you think she'll be friends with like Rutherford, or I'm not sure quite how to see those two.
I feel like her and Shax might get along.
I could see that, or Tiana even might like her personality.
Tiana has a new little buddy.
Yeah, she does.
It's my very own Fucko.
Yeah. Right. And so Mariner is gonna keep Ollie company all night long and get to know her more. And I guess they will be friends just by wearing her down. And Ollie's not too excited about that as we kind of pan away, and that is the end of the episode. So, Justin, what did we think of this? What did you think of this?
I liked it. It wasn't my favorite from this season, but I thought it was fun. I liked the art in it, and I enjoyed seeing T'Lyn. That was big. Ollie was pretty cool, but I liked seeing T'Lyn come back for this episode, even if it was for one throwaway scene.
Yeah, it was pretty brief. How about you, Davan?
More T'Lyn, always more T'Lyn. Yeah, I really like this one, actually. It's not my favorite of the season, but I like it better than a couple of them anyway. So it's, probably mid-range of the season. Made me laugh. I like the Tiana Boimler stuff a lot, and I liked Ollie. It's nice when they introduce a new character. And in this show, they stick around. Like, even like Barnes and these characters you barely see, they stick around. I mean, it's too late. The show's ending. Yeah. So whatever. But, maybe we get Lower Decks the next generation.
Well, maybe, yeah, because I feel like they were really trying to not just focus on these 4 main Lower Deckers. Of course, they bring in T'Lyn, partway through here, and then we meet Jet and all these other characters. Of course, the senior officers, but it's like there's almost
Jennifer.
Jennifer, who is now gone to the Manitoba, but it almost feels kind of like Springfield and The Simpsons, where we kind of know a lot of these people across town, and you go, oh, I remember that guy, I remember that person, that particular episode. So I feel like the show really could benefit from like a higher episode count, where we could have little bits like this, right? And so
or higher season count.
More seasons, but even more episodes even within those seasons. I wish we would go back to like a 20 episode season like in the old days. I don't know if those days are coming back, but
they're not coming back.
Yeah, I guess not. Right.
Babylon 5 would do it.
I don't have a ton of trivia here other than I can tell you that Ollie was played by Saba Homayun. Who is it from Montreal? Another Canadian voice actor. They bring in a lot of Canadians into this show. Sexagus? Was there a character named Sexagus in this episode?
Sexagus. That was the orb, the red orb.
Oh, well, that was the guy who did Kayshawn also did that one. Oh, and Jerry O'Connell did the Spheronius.
Yeah.
So hey,
no, Spheronis was the red orb. The other one, Sexagus, was the purple cube.
Because they have 6 sides, so he's Sexagus.
Oh, he's Sexagus. I gotcha. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I guess we're gonna rate the episode, and it's always when you're on the same day. There's not a ton of trivia. Although, of course, we already referenced that this episode is sort of a little bit of a sequel to Who Mourns for Adonais from the original series.
Totally is.
For the only time I remember them coming back to these Greek god characters ever in the show.
Beta Geminorum, I believe. Beta Geminorum 4, I believe, was the planet.
Actual planet. Right.
Yeah,
so
that's the only piece of trivia that I know for this one. I didn't comb through this.
Well, it's interesting that they still, I guess, just because it's less confusing, but they don't call them Geminarians or anything like that. They just call them the Greek gods. Probably just to make it simpler. Okay, guys, I got the rating sheet here. Let me just pull this up, and we can score the episode. Just trying to get the zoom right. Sorry. All right, here we go. Okay, Davan, what are you feeling for this episode?
8.
An 8, okay. Justin?
I'm gonna give it a 7.5.
7.5. Okay. I'm trying to get the IMDb score quickly here, but in the meantime, I feel like I'm an 8 as well. I liked it, pretty good. It made me laugh, and it's not my favorite either of the season, but completely enjoyable. Not any complaints. Okay, and the IMDb score 7.6. So the three of us are averaging a 7.8. This it's pretty close to what the IMDb score is right now, with only 39 votes at this time. And the only piece of trivia on IMDb is one of the objects Ollie was loading onto the sled was Worf's chair. which we already figured out.
Oh,
for-
which you grabbed already.
yeah,
There's also a Dabo table, I believe.
yeah, double wheel. Norman giving this a 7. He
And Norman
thought it was-
did mention about how Ta'ana took the sample from Boimler to cure the zombie plague in the very first episode, which is true. He's been helping her out all along.
right. I love it.
With
I
his
like how
weird body.
Rutherford asked at one point, like, or does she even know your name? Maybe, like unclear. In the first episode, she took a spider sample from him and found the cure from the zombie virus. He already has part of her. Yeah, that's right. She's probably written a paper about him already. Let me tell you, my friend, fucko. He's he got a lightning bolt up the butt, and I got it out of there.
She's been referring to that the whole time in her logs, and now she's just saying it out loud.
Yeah, that was just my personal log version for him. Now it's my official log.
Mariner
Ensign,
and
report to
Fucko
Dr.
came to
Pussy
my
Lips.
6th aid.
Absolutely. Well, I think that's going to wrap up our review. Unless you guys have any final thoughts. Anything else you wanted to? I guess we can look at the next episode title and see what we
Yes,
might
we
think.
got coming up.
Yeah, the next episode is called Fully Dilated.
Ah.
You think a pregnancy? Is someone giving birth?
Wormhole episode.
Wormhole episode. Okay. But do you think maybe we're gonna go check in with Tendy's sister? You think she'll be giving birth to the baby?
Oh, I forgot. About
Oh,
her
yeah.
sister being
I think
pregnant.
that's
That could
it.
be-
Yeah, that seems
that would track.
Okay, well, we're
Good
going to
guess
find
there,
out in a
Captain.
week's time. So we'll check that out next week. What's Norman saying? Yeah, tennis sister. If you didn't know, we cover all kinds of great Star Trek content here on this channel. Last night, we were talking about 765-874 unification.
Never again.
Go check it out. Make sure to read the comments.
Oh, yeah. Read the comments.
It was quite the experience. It's one of our shorter videos, so go and check that out. Where Davan, Adam, and I break down that whole thing.
Apparently, it's the very sum of my entire personality and like worth as a human. That fucking 10-minute video.
I was talking to Jane about it today, and she's like, never read the comments. But I'm like, we've never had so many comments in one video. Like, how could I not? So, it was, but a lot of it, they were upset with us for not knowing what was going on enough. So our apologies.
I posted, look, we talk smart sometimes too. Sometimes we're idiots. Sometimes we launch probes and we talk smart about shit. So check out all the content on our network. We're going to do Trek 10 speeches of Star Trek on Saturday, me and Puxley, I think.
Oh, under the
Nice.
Locutors banner?
Yep.
Nice. And
Trek
under
10 speeches.
Under our yellow division banner, our operations banner, which has the Cerritos as its flagship, we are going to be doing our next edition of Star Trek Radio Theater. We're doing an Enterprise episode called North Star. Check that
You
out.
betcha we are there, partner.
Sunday
Oh,
night.
that's gonna be great.
Yeah, we got Davan playing a bunch of cowboys and also
And
Dr.
Phlox.
Phlox. And
He
Phlox.
probably only has one line, but I'm excited about playing Phlox anyway.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's not in the episode. I think he's just in one scene, really. But
I get to play random Skag.
Skag. He dies in the first. He dies in the first scene.
Skag.
So,
Okay. Does he say
yeah.
anything? Do I just have to go, ugh?
He says something. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Everybody you see here has some kind of line, even if it's just one line or whatever. So
Oh my god, Adam is Reed. You have to get somebody to play Reed who actually likes Reed.
no, I want to see how he does Reed. I don't want to see how he makes it different than Mayweather. I'm really excited. Or these other characters. I'll be playing Captain Archer with a big old hat. So look out for that. Kevin Millard will be our villain on Sunday Night Live at 8 p.m. We'll be bringing that to you, and of course the Orville every Monday night with Jody Simpson. So look out for those reviews as well. And I think that's it, guys. So thanks for being with us. And
One more. I will be appearing out of uniform on Trivial Debates, doing Starship Troopers on Sunday at some point.
actually, I'm there too. Actually,
Dave and I.
and Jaemeel, three of us are the competitors. I don't know this host, but so he's new for me as well. I think he's one of Murphy's friends.
Who's the host? I know who the host is. It's Mike Henry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have fun.
Sure. One of us
He's
has
been
to
on
write-
Hold Up a couple times. You can go check out Mike Henry on Hold Up.
Okay. Yeah, just the questions alone very interesting. So we're looking forward to that. And okay, so we got radio theater and trivial debates on Sunday. I will not be running on Sunday. I think that is going to have to be the name of the game there. And with all that, we'll leave you with a quote from the episode. See you next time, everybody, and live long and podcast.
Does this have anything to do with that alt universe pad you're always secretly reading?
You know about it too?
Yeah, it has a way wider bevel.
It's red!
Oh yeah.
Beam up some Star Trek content with Live Long and Podcast. Tune in to X-Rated, the X-Men animated review show. Artistic interviews with graphic histories. A roundtable movie discussion with Hey, did you see this one? And movie reviews with Hold Up, a movie podcast. And while you're at it, spin a few records with Eamon on Track. Watch us duke it out on trivial debates. And let's chat about TV with the Super Mater Brothers. It's all here on the United Federation of Podcasts.